Hello everyone. My greetings to one and all. This is the fourth session on development experience of India during 1947 to 1990. In the previous session, you have understood the transition of economic planning, that is from Planning Commission to Niti Aayog. During all these years, there have been 5-year plans made with a different goal in each plan. But all these short-term goals were aligned to broader, long-term goals of economic planning. I am Poonam Vohra from Idiot Economics Learning Center. And in this session, you will understand the common long-term goals of planning in India. So let's understand. Common goals of India's 5-year plans were to achieve high growth rate, to adopt modernization, to be self-reliant, and to have socio-economic equitable distribution. These are the major long-term goals on the basis of which short-term goals in each 5-year plan were adopted. Let's discuss major goals one by one. The main objective has been to achieve maximum rate of growth, where economic growth means an increase in the capacity of the economy to produce goods and services within the country. This is possible by effective utilization of all the available resources. Economic growth is measured as a percentage rate of increase in the real GDP, where real GDP is defined as the market value of all final goods and services produced adjusted for price changes within a country in a given period of time. Increase in real GDP can be achieved through an increase in capital goods, improved technology, and increase in human capital. Growth of an economy is associated with structural changes in the economy. The changes take place in the form of sectoral composition as well as occupational structure of the workforce. Studies have shown that an economy is considered to be developed when the share of agriculture in production and employment begins to decline, the share of manufacturing begins to increase, and there is a shift towards services. For economic purposes, economic growth is calculated and compared to the population, also known as per capita income. It's an indicator of country's living standard. So economic growth takes place when there is an increase in per capita income. And for an increase in per capita income, it is essential that rate of growth of national income must be higher than the rate of growth of population so that living standards improve. Now assess yourself and identify whether the following statement is true or false. With rise in public investment, growth rate has also been faster. Please check your answer. It is a false statement, simply because though investment has taken place, but such investment has gone into the areas of high capital output ratio. So output per unit has remained low. Another important common goal of economic plans is modernization. It refers to the adoption and integration of new technology, scientific technique of production, bringing about changes in the rural structure. In agriculture, it implies modernization of canal system, provision of drainage, improvement in water management, along with the use of technology in farming. In rural areas, it implies change in the pattern of energy use in favor of renewable forms of energy. In industry and infrastructure, it implies application of computers and electronics to production processes, improvement in fuel efficiency of industrial equipment and use of new materials, because the aim was to increase the share of industrial output and upgrade the quality of products. It also means replacing outdated ideas by logical reasoning and having changes in social outlook. In one sentence, one can also say that modernization means bringing changes in the rural-urban structure. Now have a look at this statement and identify whether it is true or false. Modernization leads to employment generation. Please check your answer. It's a false statement. Modernization is always in conflict with employment generation, simply because modernization requires the latest production techniques, which mean adoption of capital-intensive technologies. With this, employment suffers. Another important goal is to achieve self-reliance. It means promoting growth of own resources and reducing dependence on foreign countries for imports of those goods which can be produced within the country. It implies the need to establish import substitution industry in the country. To be self-reliant also means to acquire self-sufficiency in food grains, fall in foreign aid, reduced dependence on the import of capital goods, heavy machinery and technical know-how, so that there is rise in exports and foreign exchange earnings can be increased. Now pick up the correct option out of the 4 options given for the statement. The statement is, self-reliance in the economic context means that a country A meets its demand for all goods and services from its domestic production, B exports some of its goods but does not import anything, C has sufficient foreign exchange reserves to buy all its needs, and D able to provide job opportunities to stop migration of people to other countries. Please check your answer. The correct answer is option C. Self-reliance in economic context means that a country has sufficient foreign exchange reserves to buy all its needs. One of the most important common goals among all other goals is to achieve equity. High economic growth, modernization and self-reliance together will not serve much purpose if there is rise in the income along with concentration of economic power in the hands of few. So it is important and desirable that the benefits of increased national income must reach the most vulnerable sections of the society, and each individual must be able to meet his basic needs for a decent living. For this, inequality of income and wealth needs to be reduced. Equity refers to reduction in the inequality of income and wealth, uplifting weaker sections of the society, and more even distribution of economic power. Inequalities can be reduced by adopting fiscal measures, that is, increase taxes for rich and providing employment opportunities for poor. Also, there has to be control in monopoly and concentration of wealth among few. Thus, the broad objectives of Indian plans has been non-inflationary, self-reliant growth with justice. I hope you have understood the common goals of planning in India, as you have answered few questions in between. But this is not enough. You need to answer all the questions as given in the assignment to have absolute clarity of the subject. With this, the session comes to an end. The next session focuses on few conflicts that has arisen while planning in India. Till then, keep reading and keep a track over the economic events.